What's up, gamers? Tarkir Dragonstorm is right around the corner, and it's definitely going to have an impact on Standard. And with that, Wizards of the Coast reached out to me, PwrDragn, a Standard content creator right here on YouTube, who might actually know a little bit about dragons, or at the very least, it's on brand, to tell you everything you need to know to get ready for Standard and how you're going to be able to use these Tarkir Dragonstorm cards. First off, if you're unaware, Tarkir is a land that's broken up into 5 clans. Each of those clans has 2 friendly colors with 1 shared enemy color. You have Abzan, made up of white, black, and green. Jeskai, made up of white, blue, and red. Sultai, that's black, blue, and green. Mardu, that's white, black, and red. And finally Temur, that's green, blue, and red. Now, each of the colors has their own identity and own strategy they're trying to do in the world of Tarkir, so let's talk about some of these Tarkir Dragonstorm cards by each of their different clans and what you can actually do with them. Abzan has some very interesting things it's trying to do in Tarkir Dragonstorm. The first card I really want to talk about here is Yathin Roadwatcher. Yathin Roadwatcher costs 1 white, black, and green, so 4 mana for 3/3 Human Scout. When it enters, if you cast it, you get to mill 4 cards. When you do, return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Now be aware, the card you get doesn't have to be one of the 4 cards that you milled. It could be any creature card that's 3 or less already in your graveyard as well. And there's another really good target in these colors right in the set of Dragonstorm. That card is Skirmish Rhino. It's a white, black, and green for a 3/4 Rhino with trample. When this card enters, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. That means that when you play the Roadwatcher, you could return this potentially and get a lot of value for your 4 mana while also draining some of your opponent's life total. Now in Dragonstorm, Jeskai is trying to do something a bit different. There's a lot of stuff based around playing spells, particularly at least 2 spells in a turn. To that end, a card like Flamehold Grappler could be just what you're looking for. Flamehold Grappler is white, blue, and red, so 3 mana for a 3/3 human monk with first strike. When this creature enters, you copy the next spell you cast this turn when you cast it. You may choose new targets for the copy. A fun thing to note about the Grappler is it doesn't have to just be a non-creature spell that you can play after it. It could also be a creature, which would mean you just get a token of that permanent. This gives you endless possibilities. Maybe you want to play a frontline rush and get 4 tokens, or pump 2 things up a lot during the course of the turn. And now let's talk about Mardu. On this visit to Tarkir, Mardu wants to come at you hard, and they want to come with a million little creatures. And the one who's going to help lead that charge is Zurgo, Thunder's Decree. He's a red, black, and white for a 2/4 Orc Warrior with Mobilize 2, meaning that when he attacks, he creates 2 1/1 Warrior creature tokens that are sacrificed at the end of the turn, but they enter the battlefield already tapped and attacking. But also, during your end step, warrior tokens you control have this token can't be sacrificed, meaning that all these mobilized tokens you make actually won't be dying anytime soon. And there are a host of great creatures you can play alongside Zurgo, like Stadium Headliner, a 1 mana 1/1 goblin that also has mobilize 1, but even better, that you can pay 2 and sacrifice it to deal damage to a creature equal to the number of creatures you control. You also have access to Voice of Victory, a 2 mana 1/3 human bard with mobilize 2. But even better, it comes with the ability to keep your opponent from playing spells on your turn. This means that they can't just kill your creatures freely when you get ready to attack with them, but even more importantly, your spells can't be countered. Now maybe you're a Sultai fan. There's some good stuff for you here too. Namely, Taval, Arbiter of Virtue. Taval is 2 black, green, and blue, so 5 mana for a 6/6 flying lifelink spirit dragon, which is already solid. But it comes with 2 really interesting abilities. Spells you control have Delve. That means you can remove a card from your graveyard to make your spells cost 1 less generic mana for each card you remove. But it also has, whenever you cast a spell, you lose life equal to its mana value. Now with Taval having lifelink, you probably don't care about the life loss that much as long as you don't go crazy. But you can pair this with some other really cool cards in the set to get some powerful effects. Namely cards like Kiru Goldkeeper, which is 1 black, green, and blue, so 4 mana for a 3/3 dragon. It does have flying, but the important part is whenever 1 or more cards leave your graveyard during your turn, create a treasure token. And as an added bonus, if the Goldkeeper is in your graveyard with Renew, you can pay 5 mana to exile it from your graveyard to put 2 +1/+1 counters and a flying counter on target creature you control. This means you could use a card like Taval to make your spells cheaper, and while doing so, also generate more mana. That potentially could let you play additional spells during your turn. Oh, and Temur fans, we did not forget about you. Matter of fact, one of my favorite cards in the set is a Temur colored card, and we're going to talk about Temur Battlecryer. This is a 4/3 Orc Ranger for blue, green, and red, and during your turn, spells cost you 1 less mana to cast for each creature you control with power 4 or greater. This means at a minimum, if the Battlecryer lives, every spell you play from then on your turn is going to cost 1 less. But this can also ramp up very quickly. You can combine Temur Battlecryer with some other efficient creatures from previous sets so that you can cast really large creatures like Urini, the Song Unending. And Urini is a big 10/10 spirit dragon with flying, protection from white and black, which is huge because that's the majority of the spot removal in Standard. But additionally, when it enters, it deals X damage equal to the number of lands you control across any number of creatures. And planeswalkers if you need it. So Temur's not going to be short on any big monsters or a way to cast them. Now some of you might be saying, PwrDragn, what if I'm not actually into 3-color cards? Well, fortunately, there's a lot of single and double color cards in the set like you would find in any other set of Magic. But let's talk about a couple of them. Surrak Elusive Hunter is one of my favorite cards in the set if you're playing a creature-heavy, aggressive strategy. Not only can it not be countered, it also gives you the ability to draw extra cards anytime one of your spells or one of your creatures is targeted by something from your opponents. Or maybe you want a creature that's really annoying, like Karsi Revenant. Having flying, lifelink, and death touch is already a really good combination. Your opponent's going to work to kill it. But even better, you can then give those abilities to another creature while the Revenant is in your graveyard. Or maybe you're playing an aggressive plan where you have tokens or counters, or just want to get a +1/+1 on everything. We have an all-in-one solution for you with Elspeth, Stormslayer. And she comes with the added benefit of being able to kill big creatures too. Really great card. Okay, so now you're all excited about Tarkir Dragonstorm, and you're probably wondering, when can you play Standard events? Well, there's a lot of them coming up. All of the following events will be happening at your WPN local retailers. Standard Showdown events will run from April 11 to June 5th. Store Championships from May 3rd to June 1st. And not only that, you can always hop on MTG Arena and play Standard as well. But I just remembered something. I didn't tell you how you can find those WPN stores to go play. It's actually pretty simple. You can go to locator.wizards.com, put in your location, and it'll show you all the stores in your area. But even better, you can get ahead of the curve by downloading the Magic Companion app. It'll also give you the option to find stores where you can play, and also get you prepped for signups to make it easier when you arrive to your local game stores. But with all that, you have everything you need to be ready to play Standard with Tarkir Dragonstorm. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. Otherwise, that's all I have for you for now. We'll see you on the battlefield.